Okay, so here is the cheer bow from Zindee. The file, in case you don't know, the very back black piece is the actual shape of your acrylic, so you never want to mess with the sizing of that. You want to save that to be able to reference it for any edits that you do with the SVG file that comes with, like with this back piece. So this is the file that came with it, and this is the one I'm going to be editing, but I duplicated it to have an extra one down here, and this will be for reference. So I found some bows off Creative Fabrica. I do not know what I used for this, but it would have been from Cricut Access because this was done a very long time ago. And for that, obviously, you would go to images. You can search cheer bow, and you can find, bows that are similar to like this shape, or find elements that you want to use, which is what I did, like for the hole here and these little lines. And I, just found what I could try to use to slice into my file. Okay, but I'm doing whatever I found from Creative Fabrica just to kind of show you how you can go about doing stuff like that. So these were some files I found. I found this one, and this came as a bundle, and I'm going to be attempting to use some stuff from here. But for this, I wanted to use the holes. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to click on it. I'm going to come to contour, and I just want to have these little, hole pieces. So I clicked on the actual bow, and I'm going to click on these because I don't need those, and I'm going to hit apply, and now it just leaves me with that. I'm going to grab a shape over here. I'll just grab a square, and then I'm going to bring it over here, and I'm going to cover up one side of this and grab it all and then slice it. That way it separates my pieces. So I don't need this extra one, and I don't need this one, the square, because I just needed to be able to separate these two things. Okay, so now this one, I'm going to bring it over here and just kind of play around with it. Now obviously this isn't the same one that I used, but I'm going to just, give you the idea of, how you can kind of play with parts of like other images to create your own stuff. Okay, so I'm just gonna do this. It's not gonna be perfect, but just to give you the idea. Okay, so I got that, and then I'm going to grab these two pieces, slice, and then now I don't need that, and I don't need this, and there's a hole. This one will be for whenever I, hold on, let me bring this to the front. Like once I finish kind of cutting out this end, this is what would just be the place of like this part. Okay, so I'm just going to leave that off to the side. So now out of this bundle, I may try this one because see how it's more like sort of square shaped like this. So I'm going to ungroup this, and perfect, it's separated already. So see, I'm going to use this piece. Hold on, I think my computer just kind of lagged. Oh, let me bring it to the front. Okay. And then I'm going to come on. I'm going to use this to try to give me a cutout, you know, for this part. Maybe I don't want to. Let's see. And like I said, this isn't going to be perfect. This is just to give you an idea of how to kind of go about this. Now this one isn't fitting quite perfect. And like I said, I honestly don't remember what exactly I did here. I do know another way I could kind of get close to that, but I'm just trying to see if one of these will work okay. Which I might try this one. Or, hold on. I don't like the new I'm flipping this just to see if it fits better this way, which I don't think it will. No. Okay, I just wanted to see. So let's just come back. I don't like their Cricut's newest like updates and stuff. The part that I'm not liking on this is how much of a gap it's leaving right here. Okay. So let me kind of just check. Let's see about one of these just to see how it does. And that's not really much better. This shape is actually closest. I'm just not loving it, but this kind of just gives you the idea of what I did here. Sort of. Let's see. I might try something else. Let me duplicate this. I just don't want to make it too hard. And get these out of the way. So with this, I'm going to just go ahead and, even though it's different, let's see. I'm going to go ahead and slice it and see how that gave a thing. However, these lines, I had my lines down here, which I can just get a shape and slice these off. Or if you wanted to leave it like that and just get these little lines and put them on this side versus having it down here, whatever you want to do. But I'm going to try something. I'm trying to, man, I really can't remember how I did this. Let me see if I can find a different bow real quick. But this is what I did. Like I just found other images and I just used elements from them to slice and create what I wanted. I don't know. You'll have to like find, you know, if you want something a little bit different. But I mean, that doesn't actually look too bad. Okay. So let me see. For this part, I'm going to just grab, I'm going to grab a shape again. And let's see, I'll probably do, let me try a circle. I cannot stand the new Cricut updates. So I'm just going to get as close as possible to where the end of the circle meets right here to slice these off. Okay, maybe I should have done a square. Yeah, let me see what a square looks like instead. Oh, I clicked the wrong one. Okay, now I'm gonna shrink it down some, turn it this way. And now I'm just gonna get as close as possible. Okay, that's actually not much better, but I'm gonna show you what I'm gonna do instead. I'm going to leave that there. Oh, let me get it closer. Okay, and then I'm just gonna duplicate, and I'm gonna make sure it's covering the parts that I'm trying to slice out, which are those little lines. Okay, and now I'm gonna come over here and I'm going to grab all three of those shapes, which I have to put my phone down a little bit. So you just hit the shift key. I'll show you in a minute. Hit the shift key and then click on all three pieces. Come down here to combine. Weld them, because when you slice, you can only have two things selected. So now it'll be the blue part and these black square things. And now I'm going to slice. And that is going to give me my lines. So see, I just took it out. Okay. So now I can either use these lines for this and over here, or I can find other lines from some other image and put them, you know, where I want them. So just to show you what I mean, like I would just bring these here. Okay. If I wanted to use these, or find other lines like that, like you can even just search lines and see what you find. But I would place it where I want it, like that, grab the two and slice it. And then that's going to give me the lines right there. And then I can rotate this and put them for over here. Come over here, slice it, and then, oh, I grabbed the wrong thing, but you get the idea. Okay, so see, like there's that already. And then now this would come in here. Make it the size you want. Like that. And then grab them and here you would weld. That way they, like, it all cuts together. So see, there's that already. So you just find elements from other files and take out what you want and slice them, and that's it. And then I just added, you know, like, I think other ones I've done people's names, or the word cheer, or, you know, whatever. But that is all I do. It's just a matter of trying to find like other files that would kind of work with this. Now me personally, I would sit there and take the time to like, so like for this, let me see if I can do it right now to show you what I mean. I am going to, let's see, because I don't like how thin this part is. So what I'm gonna do is I duplicated this, and I'm just going to come back over here and grab a shape. And Cricut is gonna do this weird thing. And I'm going to, let me delete this, I don't need that. Sorry, my computer's kind of lagging sometimes. So I'm just going to kind of get some pieces out of here. So that I can try to just work with, make this big enough. Slice that. So see, I'm trying to grab just that piece. Oh, let me grab another square. Delete these. Delete that. Let me grab another square. Okay, so see, I got that piece. I don't know why this is showing up so big. Is there, maybe there's something. I don't know what that was. There we go. There was some little piece that was still there that I couldn't see. Okay, so now let's say if I maybe create like an offset for this to help thicken it. Okay. And I'm just going to maneuver this a little bit. Because I'm just trying to get this part really to kind of be a little bit thicker. So this part doesn't really matter because it was thick enough already. So and I'm gonna see how that looks. So now if I don't know if you could kind of tell what I was doing, but I was just messing with that little piece. And if I come over here, weld it, see how it helped thicken it. Now I would probably undo that and kind of still mess with it a little bit more just to give it a cleaner look, but I was able to kind of thicken it to kind of match a little bit more of this side. So hopefully that helped. Hopefully it wasn't too confusing, and hopefully I didn't have my mic covered because I just realized where my thumb was, so I hope you could hear me still. But anyways, yeah, so that's all I do is I just find files, you know, from other images and see how I can slice and use them to create more of what I want. And I do that very often with Zindee files. Like a lot of times I will edit their files and, you know, change things up to make it more of like something unique. Okay, and I just realized that I didn't go over this part, which I'm going to just, let me see. Let me just grab this one that I initially like kind of started with, and again I'm going to grab a shape. I'll probably do a square and a circle. And I don't want to have to keep going back over there and grabbing shapes, so I'm just going to duplicate. So I'm going to kind of take out the parts that I don't need. Okay. And let me go ahead and delete these. And for this one, since the thing you want to take notice of is how this part is like curved, right? So let me bring that back over here. Goodness. I'm going to use a circle so that the curved part is down here, okay? And I'm going to just kind of rotate this. And I'm just trying to imagine like where I would need the curve to happen, which would be like, there's the, sorry, I should bring it in. There's the like point, right? So I'm going to just do that. I'm going to see how that goes. Might turn it a little bit. Okay, and then I'm going to slice that. So now it just leaves me with this piece. And then what I'll do is I will create a negative offset. Sorry, I'm still trying to remember how they did their updates here. So for this one, I'll just do negative 0.030. And I'll kind of see if that's about the thickness I would want it, which I would want it thicker. Like, imagine if I were slicing this and this middle part is out. So I'm going to go a little bit thicker, and I'm going to do it at, let me go to 50. And that might be kind of more where I'd want it. So now I'm going to come over here. Oh, no, actually, I'll just grab this part, bring it up here, and fit it, you know, as best as possible, like to line up. And actually, I'm going to stretch this up because I notice where this is hanging down, excuse me, you want it to kind of match over here. So I'm going to see how that looks, but technically I probably needed to, when I sliced, I probably needed to be up a little bit higher. So let me slice these and just see how it looks. Oh, okay, and that looks fine actually. It doesn't look that bad. But you could just make sure to slice a little bit higher with, you know, like the blue one that I had at first. And so that your loop, or like this part that kind of curves, is a little bit more equal to the one that's over here. And that's it. You could also use like that, the other side of the bow to have more of this shape. You know, like from the sets of bows that I used to create this part, and bring it over here to kind of have more of that shape. You could kind of try to do that to slice into, you know, that bottom piece. But I mean, you just have to kind of play with it to get like the look you're going for. But that is about as close as I'll get to this one, besides the lines. I just didn't take the time to look for different lines. But okay, well, I hope that helped.